There's a command Jesus gave that unlocks the mystery of the rapture, but most believers have completely overlooked it. It's not about reading prophetic calendars or analyzing timelines. It's not even about how much faith you claim to have. The real key to being taken when He returns has been hiding in plain sight, buried under modern distractions, forgotten in the noise of sermons about blessings and grace. Yet it was meant to be the defining mark of who truly belongs to Him. It was never erased from Scripture. We just stopped living it. And as the world slips deeper into darkness, this forgotten commandment becomes the dividing line between those who are ready and those who are not. Jesus wasn't vague about who would be counted worthy to escape what's coming. He didn't speak in riddles or leave us guessing. But somewhere along the way, we replaced obedience with emotion, preparation with performance. We built systems of faith around feelings instead of action. And now, while believers debate about end-time signs, the true key to readiness sits untouched. It is not about being able to interpret prophecy. It is about living in obedience to what Jesus already revealed. A lot of Christians think belief alone guarantees their place in the rapture. But the Bible never says, "Whoever believes will be raptured." Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." Belief is the doorway, but obedience is the walk through it. It's like buying a ticket but never boarding the plane. The rapture isn't a random selection of believers. It's a harvest of those who obey. Jesus was clear and consistent. He tested actions, not words. The question isn't how much we know about Him, but how much we live like Him. Many spend hours studying prophecy, memorizing the sequence of the trumpets, debating pre-trib or post-trib, yet they neglect the simplest foundation of readiness: obedience. Preparation doesn't start with theology. It starts in the heart. It's found in forgiveness, in humility, in faithfulness when no one else sees. True readiness for His return isn't shown in public passion but in private obedience. Because deep down, Jesus isn't measuring knowledge, He's measuring surrender. There's one commandment almost no one talks about, yet it holds the hidden key to the rapture. Jesus said, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you." He didn't say just love each other in a casual or convenient way. He said, "As I have loved you." That means sacrificially, unconditionally, relentlessly. It means loving when it hurts, forgiving when it's unfair, serving when it's inconvenient. It means choosing humility when pride feels easier. This isn't soft love. It's crucified love. It's the love that bleeds, forgives, and stays faithful when everything else walks away. And that's exactly why this commandment faded from modern preaching. It costs too much. It demands more than comfort Christianity is willing to give. It requires us to deny ourselves, pick up our cross daily, and love like Jesus did. The kind of love that can't fit in a quote, the kind that costs your pride and purifies your soul. Churches celebrate grace and breakthroughs, but rarely teach the grind of love that costs something. Yet Jesus said this is how the world would know who truly belongs to Him, not by words, not by doctrine, but by how deeply we love. This one commandment is the ultimate test. It's the hidden proof of who is ready. And if this is the key, why did we let it die? We buried it under comfort and convenience. We began to value emotional moments over eternal obedience. We replaced discipline with entertainment, truth with trends. People started asking, "How does this make me feel?" instead of, "Is this what Jesus asked of me?" Slowly, the commandment to love as He loved slipped into the shadows. Real love is exhausting. It doesn't seek applause or reward. It shows up when no one's watching, when it's hardest to stay. It means praying for the person who betrayed you, staying faithful when your flesh screams to quit. It's not glamorous. It's costly. But that is the kind of love Jesus demanded, the kind that refines your soul and reveals your faith. This commandment wasn't lost because we forgot it. It was lost because we avoided it. It demands everything we are and most aren't willing to pay that price. And here's where it gets real. What if the rapture isn't decided by what we believe, but by what we live? What if the separation between taken and left behind is already happening, not in the clouds, but in the choices we make daily? Jesus gave us no date, no countdown. What he gave us was a filter, a spiritual test that divides the faithful from the half-hearted. The same way the oil separated the wise from the foolish virgins, obedience separates the ready from the unready. That oil represents a life of constant love, humility, and surrender. It's the flame that stays lit when the world grows cold. Many will be surprised on that day, not because they didn't believe in Jesus, but because they didn't live like him. The rapture isn't about emotion, it's about endurance. Every day is part of that test. Every act of forgiveness, every moment of restraint, every prayer in secret is evidence of obedience. God isn't waiting for a grand gesture. He's looking for daily consistency. The commandment of love is being tested in the small moments, not in the big performances. How we treat our spouse, how we react when we're wronged, how we love when it's inconvenient, all of it counts. The world right now is quietly dividing. Those who walk in love are becoming brighter, and those who live for self are growing colder. Every act of love draws you closer to the bridegroom. Every act of disobedience pulls you away. This commandment is the oil that keeps your lamp burning. It's not optional, it's essential. It's the very seal that identifies who belongs to him. The window of grace is still open, but it's narrowing. You can feel it in the chaos of the world, in the urgency stirring in your spirit. The time for comfortable faith is over. The Spirit of God is separating his own, not by gifts or knowledge, but by obedience. The command to love like Jesus is not poetic, it's prophetic. It's the final preparation before the door shuts. Jesus isn't calling for louder worship or bigger churches. He's calling for surrendered hearts, those willing to love when it costs everything. That's what the bridegroom will recognize, those who carry the oil of obedience, whose love mirrors his own. The true question isn't whether you believe in the rapture, but whether you're living the commandment that unlocks it. Because belief won't open the door, obedience will. The commandment was never lost, we were. And now, in this final hour, he's calling us back to the beginning, back to the one thing that proves we are his. Love that looks like the cross lived out daily in real life before the door closes forever.